taking names. I see you, I see you, I see you. Yes, I see you guys out there, so we will do everything that we can to help you. Okay? I see you, Mona. Got you, okay? Don't worry, Emma. It'll be with you on the action replay, okay? So we got it. We got you, okay? Emma, get your sleep. Do what you gotta do. Chanty Bonds, we're gonna get something up here for you. Constance, we've got one up here for you. Super. Kiss JG, you're gonna get one. Enya, you're gonna have one. Sun Lehman, we've got one coming up. So we've got 8 already. I've got room for maybe 4 more. Maybe 4, 5, or 6 more. That's probably what we'll be able to do today. Let's have a look. Road. Hold on, let me get the let me get the board. Stay there. As some of you know already, this is Wellness Wednesday. It is a worldwide wellness show. Yes, that's what it's all about here. And of course, your name is already here, as you can tell. Happy, happy, happy. And it's open to everyone, and it is free. So there you go. I'm just trying to promote the show. And we have a new deck, by the way. Let me show you. I'm excited to announce a new deck. Look. Hello, JGN. Greetings to you. So, some of you know what I'm offering already. We have a guy Excuse me. So, hey, Tati, I heard your message. I saw it, and duh, it's my fault. My bad. So let me just catch up with you guys, okay? It's Wellness Wednesday. I see a couple of other people here. I'm not signing anybody into these days because, it's just first come, first serve. This is a list of the decks that I have. I'll come back to this in a minute. But I just saw a couple of people show up right over there. And I wanted to ask you, hold on, where are you? Divine Mrs. Jones, you would like a reading, so you're going to get, wow, everybody wants the number 6. Interesting. Okay, that's the new one. Thank you. Okay, and the Divine Mrs. Jones. Okay. The Divine Mrs. Jones. And wants deck number 6. Okay. Well, let's do that. Let's see. Paula wants number 2, Romance Angels. Okay. Okay, we can do that. Romance Angels, Love and Relationship. Excellent. Inyo wants deck number 6. We got that. So Kiss, JG, you should be able to hear Tarot Lumination now. Hello. Hello, Diane. Yes. You're just in time. It fills up very quickly. And yes, I'll put you over here. I've got 10 lined up already. So let's just... Sun Lehman wants number 4. Okay, perfect. And let's have a look. Karen Clark. Hey, hi Karen. Must be notifications are reaching New Zealand today. That's good. Let's do it like this. So, Sun Lehman wants number 4. Oh, we got that one. All right. All right, let's slow down. I'm not sure if I can take any more. We'll see what happens, okay? So let's see. Where are we now? I just saw JGF. What's going on, man? Hey, I see you, JGF. You're looking for a card? Let me know. Who's this? Dominique Augustin. Who's that? Hello. Hello, Dominique. I didn't get you here. Dominique, are you still here? Would you like a card? I think that'll be the last one. Dominique, I saw you in the chat. Brand new? Let's have a look. Where are you? I'm scrolling through the... Anyway, I'm sort of... Let's have a look. Kiss wants to know who's coming towards me. Okay, so we're going to look at that as a kind of a lovey-dovey thing. Question, who is coming at you? Okay, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Damn. I have no idea where that came from. Alright, I'm checking in. I need to check in with... Who was it? I just missed you. Stay there. Don't run away. Don't run away. Dominique Augustin. It sounds like you're from France. Hello, Ivona. Gosh, it's filling up very quickly today. I don't know if I'll be able to get to you. We can always try another time. Dominique Augustin, let me know. Type it on the screen. Are you looking for a little reading? Gosh, it's filled up super quick. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to do. I'll leave it like this for now, okay? So let's just get everybody sorted. I'm going to put... It's all kind of random. I'm just putting everybody over here. I don't know if I'll be able to reach Gemma. Let's see. Okay, Mona. We got Emma over there. Emma's over in England as well. And there's Paula, Constance, Kiss, and let's have a look. So I'm just going to leave all of these out here. Okay. Hello, Moonlight Miracle. Hello, Moonlight Miracle. For some reason, it filled up really quickly. Dominique Augustin is not responding, so I guess Dominique had to disappear. So I'm going to keep this one open kind of for an emergency reading. And my friend Jim is coming online as well, also from the UK. That's great. But Moonlight Miracle is here, okay? Hey, Linda. Well, let's wait till people are actually here because Divine Augustin disappeared. And Marsh D, hello. Peachy Peachy, oh my god. Oh, you're Gemma. Hello, Denise, my friend. Alright. I kind of have to call it quits after all this. I didn't realize it was going to go so fast. So I'll put, you're Gemma. Okay, Peachy Peach. Alright, cool. Hello, Peachy Peach. I'm assuming you're talking about yourself, that you are a peachy peach. So I'll put you over there. And we've got some backups over here, okay? Tati wants deck number 4. Okay, you got it. I'll just pop that up here for the last second here so that people are aware. I'm offering 6 decks now. Patty Cupcake. Patty Cakes Cupcake. Mo, hello Mo. What's going on, Mo? Moonlight Miracle. I'll put you on there because this is going to be my emergency backup. Post-its. I'll get another color. Hold on. These are going to be the emergency backups in case somebody gives up or loses interest or they just want to go away or something. So let's have a look. Moonlight Miracle. I'll put you over here. Something like that. Okay, just in case, you never know. And let's have a look. Linda is here. Don't know if I'll get to you, Linda. Maybe if I owe you one, we'll figure that out. And Mo is here. Mo is here. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. And looks like Pretty Cupcake. PTY. I'll just put a PTY Cupcake. Alright, let's do it like that. Okay. Hello, just you. It's just you, is it? Okay. So I'll just do just you. Okay. So these are all emergency backups. I have no idea if we'll get even close to any of these, but you're here, okay? I've got 10, I got 12 on stage already, and 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's a lot. That's a lot for Tarot Illumination. I don't know if I'll get that far. Let's just put this aside and let's see what happens. You know, I don't have to do huge amounts of psychic work and mediumship to do all this. So I'll keep showing this to people every now and again. Yeah, we're going to start with everybody. We'll start off with Mona and Inya because you're way over there and it's already very late. And then we can do Emma. We can do Emma later on because she's already going to bed, and she's going to pick it up on the action replay. Let's have a look. I'm very tempted to start with Inya because it's the brand new deck which I've never used before on stage. So these are the decks I'm offering right now, and this is what we're going to be doing from the readings here. So let's get rolling, people. We don't have a lot of time, so let's make the best of what we have. Okay. Let's have a look. Now, Mona, we're going to use the Psychic Vibes deck for you. It's about you're expanding your psychic awareness. Now, the thing is, Mona, you're already kind of one of these ascending type characters where you just keep ascending, and evolving and evolving. And like you've probably figured it out, it's like the more ascended, you know, it's kind of a cliche what they say, being ascending, but really it's just a journey as your, let's say, psychic vibes increase, as your vibrational frequencies increase. It becomes, in some ways, for a lot of people, becomes more and more intolerable to deal with the crap of the world, all the poop of this world. People who are radiating toxic vibes, governments, jobs, locations, pollution, everything. It just becomes harder and harder and harder and harder. I saw that, Diane. And what can often happen is that you reach these like steps, these kind of plateaus, like, oh, I figured out how to do energy management. I figured out how to protect my psychic boundaries. I figured out how to tune into my invisible friends and have a rich connection with my angels. And then you start to realize, oh my gosh, I love being this way. I'm much happier. Life is more fulfilling. And then you start to look around you in a three-dimensional world and you realize, oh my gosh, there's a lot involved in our three-dimensional world, which starts to lose its appeal, its attraction, its magnetism, because it's such a rich experience. The higher the frequencies to which you so-called ascend. So hold on, Mona. Hey, Mona. Hey, Mona's over here in Norway. Mona and Inya are over up here in Norway. Greetings to Norway. I know it's very, very late for you guys. Okay, so what I was talking about, Mona, you already know this because you're already, that cliche ascending, You're one of those people who do a lot of work on yourself. You know a lot about what we're talking about here already. The thing is, like, the higher the frequencies, like, sometimes the more challenging it becomes in order to carry the physical body in such a way that you're not impacted by some of the lower frequency energies, because there's a lot of that out there. In other words, the more you go this way, the more you are aware that there's stuff down in these lower frequencies that's just not healthy or appropriate. And so, like, you get stuck. It's just like, oh my gosh, now I have to stay here. Now I'm going to, like, who are my friends? It can become a very lonely place sometimes. Unless, of course, you're hanging out with Lumination. Right. But in the meantime, Mona is curious, because Mona is always ascending. Mona is always doing the work. Okay? It's work. It's like constantly having to maintain oneself, like a really, really advanced computer that needs a lot of maintenance. I'm not saying you're high maintenance, Mona. All I'm suggesting is that when you get to these frequencies and levels, a lot of the life becomes about resting and healing and self-healing to maintain the frequency levels, because it's so satisfying. You don't want to go that way. So let's have a look. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start the work, people. Up right now, we have Mona. Okay, Mona, here you go. He, ha, ha, ha. What messages do we have here for Mona today? I'm gonna just, I'll just put you over here for now. Okay. Actually, how else can I do this? I want to do this in such a way that you can see everything. Hold on, give me a second here. I want to try something. So, I was hoping to keep everything visible. Now I don't know what to do. I think I'll just let everybody know. Okay, this reading is about Mona. Okay, and we'll put you over here, kind of in the center. Well, no, I'll just put you back over here. So we're focusing on. You know what? Let me just. You know how I get. I get really picky about my post-it notes. So let me do something like this. I don't know what we're going to do about the order of everything and who got here when. Some of them I can recognize who got here earlier. And I'll try to keep close to the order in which people arrived. But I just want to make some space for the star of each reading. Okay? So right now, we're going to start with Mona. Okay? So Mona's going to be over here. All right, got it. Got it. Got it. Let's do this. All right, so what messages do we have from Mona? Okay. Let's have a look. I have to tell you, Mona, your readings that you gave to me personally in our exchanges linger. They have a very, very long, lingering impression on me in my life, okay? So I just want you to know that. And everybody else needs to know that as well. Hello, Getty. Thank you for being here. All right, so Mona is going for the messages from Psychic Awareness deck about basically how to advance your psychic awareness, how to live with it, how to manage it, how to understand it, and how to enjoy it. Sometimes it can be very disorienting. We have a few people on the channel who are very strong with their energies for mediumship, but if you've noticed that it can be extremely challenging to handle the energy. One of them just ended up in the hospital recently for almost 10 days trying to recover from what you could call like psychic invasion. I mean, it's very serious stuff here. All right, Mona, what have we got here? Downtime. Aha! Mona, you probably know what this is talking about, okay? Downtime. Let's go to the little book, okay? Sometimes I know there are a couple of people who have tarot channels. I don't really watch YouTube anymore. I'm sorry, people. I don't have time or energy. But some of them they just do unending streams of videos and shows. I don't know how they do it because they're going to burn out. Maybe they won't, but you know, if you're living off like lots of energy drinks and caffeine and nicotine and soda and all those things, and you never let yourself have any kind of downtime, that is a problem. Let's have a look here. What does it say? This is for you, Mona. I mean, do I have to explain the imagery here, Mona? Seriously? Okay. There is a clock, and there is a hamster, and there is the hamster wheel going around, 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 and never stopping, okay? And you want to start over here with your gas tank full. This is your fuel. And if you let it run down to empty, sometimes it's very hard to fill it up again. So anyway, let's read from the book. Okay, it says here, Dear Mona, to tune into your intuitive and psychic vibes, it is essential to step away from the hustle and bustle of the world from time to time. As a sixth sensory person, start appreciating the importance of refreshing your body, mind, and spirit by scheduling deliberate downtimes. Okay? This is time to do nothing but relax, hang out, and simply allow the world to go by. It affords you the inner space that you need to refuel your psychic engines and gain access to the higher and more subtle vibrations that you may have bypassed by living in such a fast-paced, intense world. Okay? Your ego generally does not approve of downtime because it is asking you to give up control, which the ego does not want to do. Rather, instead, the ego wants to run your life through fear and anxiety, keeping things in your head and under control. This is the hallmark of a five-sensory, unhappy living. Downtime liberates you from this fear-based treadmill, and it reconnects you to the pace and the peace of universal flow. And she's talking about, as her own spiritual teacher once told her, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. And now is one of those times. So Mona, this is a really, really powerful message to disconnect, relax, unplug yourself from the world, from your obligations, your commitments, worrying about money, food, family, jobs, all the things that, fill the mind and keep the mind going. Stop. I'm not saying stop right now. I'd love it if you could hang out in the show just another 10 minutes or so while we read for Inya. But after that, switch everything off. Switch everything off. Okay? Gosh, Mona, I hope that makes sense. I'm sure you will understand. Okay? I'm certain you will understand. Sometimes the messages are very blunt on this show, people. All right, Inya. We're going to go next. Inya. We're going to use the brand new deck. This message is for Inya. I just need to clear this up. Greetings, Inya. Thank you for hanging out here. Look at that. Did you see the message on the screen, people? Can you see the chat? It says here, the Divine Mrs. Jones. Let me just, hold on. I want to just connect. Let me finish the deck first, and then I'm going to read. Okay? Inya, you're coming up next, but I want to read out loud the message from the Divine Mrs. Jones. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, so I just needed to clear the deck, okay? Literally clear the decks. It's a very old expression that comes from the days of sailing. Okay, let's have a look. Here, can you see this, people? It says here, hello, 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 the Divine Mrs. Jones. I'm going to read from the chat. It says here, I am a professional psychic medium, and I know what you are talking about. I am often drained by psychic vampires. It does take its toll if you don't protect yourself. Got it. Absolutely. Boundaries, boundary issues. I call it energy management. Learning how to create very powerful, invisible, like protective, like screening filters for your energy. The more and more and more you become a sixth sensory, multisensory person, you know, extrasensory perception, high sensory perception, mediumship, psychic mediumship, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, deeper and deeper instant knowing and intuition, the more and more you have to be aware of the filters to protect yourself. And the more and more you have to heal yourself, give yourself and your body time to heal. Because these kind of frequencies can place a tremendous demand on the physical body that you're not aware of until the damage is done. Thank you, Mrs. Jones. All right, Inya. Hello, Michaela. Greetings, greetings, greetings. We already got a full house here. Let's have a look. Inya is looking for a message from Spirit. Okay, so that's what we're going to get. Now, this can cover anything. Now, this is a new deck. I was inspired to get this by Love Triber. Love Triber is an avid member of the channel, Tarot Lumination, and she let me use her own deck one day, and I was very impressed. It's just a very, it just resonated well. So, Inya, this is for you, and I hope you all sleep very well after this, Mona and Inya, okay? Okay. Greetings, Denise. Thank you for introducing yourself. Hello, Michaela. I see you there. How are the mountains, Michaela? How are the big hikes? All right, Inya, here we go. Let's have a look. Frittily is here. Yay, new deck. Thank you, Frittily. Let's have a look. What have we got? Let's have a look. Okay, so here's your card. This is just a message, okay? And it is faith, okay? Now, these paintings here are actually like digital fractals here. There's a certain type of art called fractal art, and sometimes it uses extremely powerful computer software to make these kinds of images. And the author of the book does the images as well, okay? She's like a digital artist, she's very spiritual, and she's written a bunch of books. So I'm going to read to you about her card called Faith, okay? And it's a story just for you. Okay, here we go. So, faith, when you see a message like this, it makes me wonder, like, why would you get a message like this, Inya? Lack of faith? Is there lack of faith in your life? Is there lack of belief? Are you in a condition where there is very little sense of hope, a very small sense of believing in like a greater energy, mission, life, and purpose beyond, you know, like what your physical body is telling you? Sometimes it's very, very hard, okay? Don't worry, Emma, we're going to get to you soon, okay? If you have to go, don't worry, because you're going to get yours on the action replay anyway. All right, Enya, over here it says, how much faith do you really have? Okay? Okay, Enya said your boyfriend broke up. So, Enya, for example, you and your boyfriend broke up. You might be very broken inside yourself, wondering, having no faith in love and life and relationship. Okay? It can be very damaging. Like if you broke up, if you don't have to tell us all in detail if you don't want to, but it depends whether, you know, have you ever heard, I use this expression, okay? Enya, I use this expression, like, are you the dumper or the dumpy? In other words, was it a mutual breakup? Did somebody go like, screw you, I'm out of this, I don't want you anymore? Or did you have to say, I'm out of this, I can't be with you anymore? Whatever it works, you know? And the energy feels very different whether you are the dumper or the dumpy. You know, if somebody just takes advantage of you and your sweetness and your love and innocence and then they move away, it's just like you end up like, it can be very painful and you lose all faith in the whole concept of genuine love. Okay, so hopefully we're going to get a message here to let you know that it's not over. Okay, it says here, how much faith do you really have? Often we will say that we have faith until life starts to get out of whack and things fall apart, including love and relationships. It is easy to have faith when everything is running smoothly. But what about when it doesn't go as planned? It is hard to remain strong in faith when nothing seems to be going as you would hope. Well, this is exactly what faith is. Faith is about trusting in Spirit, especially in those times when everything seems as though it's going wrong. Spirit is asking you to have a bit more faith and trust. Being human means our point of view is limited and our understanding is skewed and one-sided. From the viewpoint of the universe, everything is in divine and perfect order. Everything is exactly how it should be and needs to be to help you move to your rightful place on earth. So Enya, I say that a lot on this channel, depending on which cards come up. Everything, from the universe point of view, everything is perfect all the time. Everything is exactly as it should be. And how and why is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. Things are exactly how they are. And then it's a question of how do you respond. That's where you get your power or not. Do not pull back your energy and trust because things are simply not working out the way you thought they would. It may not feel good, but you have to honor the wisdom of Spirit and the outcomes that are arriving. Know that it is perfect. Know that your situation is perfect, okay? It is for your best and highest good. Breathe and trust what is. Allow yourself to let go, even if only a little at the first, of any expectations that you have. It says here, this card is about restoring faith, but not just in spirit. It's about restoring your faith in yourself, in your abilities, in your choices, and in your heart. It's about restoring your faith in your fellow human and mankind as a whole. Some of the human experiences you've had have damaged your trust and faith. Spirit is holding out their hand to you, okay? You're in a good place, Enya. You know that. You can connect with people here. You can connect with Mona, and it's not the end of the world. You might have been very damaged and broken coming from a place of innocence. And so I think this message here is very spot on for your situation. I think it can relate to love specifically. Okay? Some of the experiences you've had have damaged your trust and faith. Spirit is holding out their hands to you. But it is up to you to find the faith within and to take hold of it. In other words, you have to make a decision to reach out to reach out to your, what I would call your invisible friends, to heaven, the energy of heaven, and ask that to come back to you. Ask them. Let me just finish. Hold on. Regardless of whether you do or do not, Spirit is by your side every step of the way. What Spirit loves is when you make active decisions to do what has to be done, like no matter the pain, no matter the suffering. I think what I'm hoping, Inya, what I'm hoping is that message of having faith resonates deep in here. There's another sort of definition of faith where it's like you believe in something when there is no proof. You have faith. You have a trust. You believe that this, whatever it is, for example, love. Frittoli wrote something about love. You believe in love even though you've been betrayed, or even be hurt, or even if his love was ruined, or your expectations were destroyed. You have faith, okay? Everything is exactly as it should be, because it can't be any other way. And then our job is to figure out how to accept it. If it goes against our ego, our will, our desire, our wishes. Thank you, Inya. Oh gosh, Inya, that was a bit of a, well, not a sad message. It's just what the background of the message is sad. It's awful to have love and then not to have love. Okay, okay. Constance, I believe you're up next. There we go. Constance. Oh, I just saw the notes on the screen. Thank you, Mona. Getty, the card I was using, it's called Return of Spirit. It's a message from Spirit. Love Triber introduced me to Return of Spirit, and so I've added it to the list here of decks that we use on this show. I've seen a lot of decks, but I can only handle a few, okay? All right, Constance. Looks like Constance is going for the same deck. That's interesting. Return to Spirit. So this is a message for Constance from Spirit. All right, let's do this. After Constance, we're going to read for Emma, and then Emma can go to bed, or if Emma's already in bed already, Emma can catch it tomorrow on the action replay. So don't worry. Constance, we have a message for you from Spirit. What is the nature of this message? What message do we have from Spirit today for Constance Morgan? Make it very clear, make it very simple, make it very pure. Let's bless this deck, bless every single card. Let's bless every deck here today, the whole channel, all the internet, the technology, the cameras, the lights, the electricity, the connections that we have all over the world that allow us to do this in the first place. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, Constance. Let's have a look. What do we have for you? Let's have a look here. All right, here we go. Cards are well shuffled. We're going to break them all up. You know, I was even thinking of doing a whole show just based on this one deck. And I might actually do that one day because I really like the deck. It has really broad, strong impact. I might do shows where we just do one single deck. And just people line up. Okay? What do you think? Anyway, Constance, here we go. Here is your message. Okay? This is your message. Surfacing. Wow, look at this. Look at this beautiful image. This is insane, crazy fractal art, okay? Obviously, I can't show you in extreme detail here, but it is a very detailed, very beautiful card. Okay, so let's go to the book, see what she says. Let's have a look here. Alright, so I'm going to read direct from the book. Thank you for the encouragement there, Frittoli. Okay, it says here, okay, for Constance, this is you, a message from Spirit. Okay? Imagine this is a really big message, and that it's not just your invisible friends or a couple of people from across the veil. It's actually a big message from heaven. Okay, like a team effort thing. If you can imagine like a meeting room on the other side of the veil, and they all come to a consensus. What is the key message that we have for Constance today? It says here. Every time we allow ourselves to step out beyond our boundaries or find a way to get past our fears, the entire universe celebrates. Constance, you know what that is. That's the energy of risk-taking. That is like the fourth card that I do in the heart spread. It's when you make the decisions to do something bold and face the unknown and walk into the unknown. Okay? The universe celebrates when you make those decisions. It isn't easy to let the world see us, and Spirit knows this. But we are here to allow our true expression and to allow the deepest parts of ourselves to rise to the surface, to be seen and to be shared. The surfacing card comes to you, Constance, when you're about to face the challenge of stepping up and stepping out into the world. So Constance, if you've been in a very shy condition, or you're naturally reclusive, or naturally, let's say very discreet, and you don't impose your energy on nature of the world around you, this card is hinting that it might be time to, expand expand a little bit. You could be asked to speak publicly, or to give a presentation, or perform, or release a novel, or anything which involves putting yourself out there, which means also putting yourself at risk. In other words, there's a possibility, like when I run this channel, there are certain people who don't like what I do, or why we do this, or anything. But we do it anyway, okay? Whatever it is that is going to be asked of you will involve shining your soul's light in some way for other people to see. So there's a lot of energy of public awareness here with this card. You might be feeling scared as hell and wanting to run as fast as your legs will carry you away from this situation. But this is why the universe has given you this card today. Ha 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 ha. Look carefully at the image. Okay. There are hundreds of tiny bubbles rising to the surface. Take a moment to energetically feel the colors. There is a lot of joy in there. This is Spirit's way of reassuring you that this process brings with it much joy and celebration. This is a part of your soul doing what it has come here to do. You just have to get past yourself first. It's the ego in the way, okay? Here we go. The surfacing card can also come if you have been brave and expressed your truth in some way. It comes when we have shared a part of ourselves and our gifts and our talents. Spirit is here to acknowledge you and your bravery. Every time you allow the expression of your soul, it is a cause for celebration. There is a whole lot more to you, Constance, just below the surface. These are aspects of yourselves which you are not fully conscious yet. So when the surfacing card comes, it means that these hidden qualities are about to rise to the surface. Enjoy this time of self-discovery. And don't run away. Don't run away. It's not allowed. Not on this channel. No, no, no. No, no, no. Hello, Constance. Hello, Constance. Maybe you're just, very shyly, very quietly enjoying your life at the channel and things that we do here, and you're starting to realize that, oh my gosh, I have something to say. I have something to do. And you can feel it bubbling up inside of you. And of course, the fear, have you ever heard that thing, the fear of public speaking? Whatever it might be, maybe writing, performing, or expressing yourself. It's a very legitimate fear, believe me. I get butterflies and I get little cold sweats and things every time I do a show or make a video. This is how it is. You'll get used to it. All right, Constance, just keep us posted. Let us know how it goes, okay? Thank you. All right, so Emma, we're going to work on Emma's question right now. I have to scroll back through the chat because Emma's concerned, I think, about one particular character, this fellow Nick. Julia Cedar is here. Salutations. Greetings, yes. Thank you, Julius. Excellent. I don't know much about Julius Cedar, but I understand he was quite a lad in his day. Kind of rich and famous and powerful, if I recall. Did he run the Roman Empire or something? He might be a very close relative. You might be, maybe you are reincarnated. There we go. Thank you, Constance. Now I gotta go scroll back on Emma just a second because she had some notes, but I think it was about what is Nick? What's going on with Nick? Okay. Let me just check something here. I need to go to the chat. I'm going to scroll all the way back to see if I can find something from Emma. Patience, please, everybody. Okay, I just one note about hello, you kind of loving man. Thank you for the ad. I need to sleep work. Could you leave this video? Yes, I'll leave the video up. Let me just say I'm scrolling back through the chat right now because I need to find out where is it? Where is it? I know you came in pretty early. Let's have a look. I'm still scrolling. Okay, here it is. How I live. I need to sleep for work. Is blah blah. Read your Romance Angels and ask. Was there any reciprocation from Nick? Did he or does he have any progressing feelings for me toward me? Okay, so it's all about Nick and question marks about Nick. So we're going to do the Romance Angels for you, Emma. And what this will typically do is it will focus on the nature of the relationship at this moment in time. The energy of the relationship. It's not a fortune telling. We don't do fortune telling here, okay? It's more like we need to understand the inner vibrations. All right, Emma? So I hope you sleep well and you have a super day tomorrow for work, or today when you get up and you see this. Thank you very much. In the meantime, we're just going to pull one card for you regarding Nick. Well, honestly, Emma, it's really about you. When we're doing this, the cards are really talking to you. The whole thing, everything is about you. Your life is about you. You are the star of your own show. And I know you have a tendency, because you're young and vibrant and very passionate, and you have like very rich, high expectations. And it's understandable. I do. I know I sure do. So, let's have a look. We'll see in a moment. Now we're going to refer to Nick, of course. It's about Nick, but really the reading is for you, Emma. Okay? All right, so don't worry about it. All right, here we go. Cards are well shuffled. They were already well shuffled in advance, but this is the first time today that we've been using the Romance Angels deck. So let's have a look. See what they say here. All right, here is your card, Emma. Keep an open mind. Aha! Okay, so this is very inconclusive, the way I feel it right now. Did he or does he? Okay, so it's like things are still in the flow. We've just had a big full moon, and the last 2 weeks have been quite stressful for a bunch of people. The moon has full moon crested now, so we're trying to integrate and learn and understand what happened over the last 2 weeks. So you might be in one of those stages, like, you know, when you're watching big ocean waves and one just went up and crashed, and then you have to absorb the feeling of what just happened, okay? It says here, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So Emma, my feeling is that this might be nothing to do with Nick at all. Okay? My feeling is that this message here is asking you, in your passion, your vigor, your drive for life, your keen, huge open heart that wants to love and be loved, to me this is an indication that there is more for you out there, Emma, than you are aware of at this point in time. And it's asking you to keep your heart, your body and mind and heart and soul open for new possibilities that you would never have ever considered to this moment in time. You know, a lot of people, when it comes to love and romance and those kinds of things, are driven by, you know, the obvious things like hormones, or looks, or money, or convenience, or circumstance, all of that stuff that's happening, like what I would call reflex behavior. Hold on a second, I want to check in, Emma, hold on. You know what I'm talking about, Emma, is like the pure biology, where, you know, your eye, you are programmed to respond. There are certain guys, obviously, who trigger a response in you, and it's like, it's part of your DNA, it's part of the biology, it's perfectly normal and natural. But as time goes on, you start to realize that there are so many layers to love and relationship that you might not have been aware of first time around, second, third, however it is. Some people, it's different for everybody, but because like you have so much like life inside of you and you put out so much, it would be natural to expect. And then when that doesn't happen, that can be very like confusing, you know. So I think what the message here, before we even read, it's all about, hey, it's okay. We need to keep an open mind. And also we understand the difference between a soulmate type of love and like a romantic passion type of love. Like if you're really, really driven by, like, say, the hormones and looks and like the very raw biology kind of stuff, then it can sometimes make it harder and harder to get in touch with the soul type relationship, which can sometimes be a lot more satisfying over the long term. Let's have a look. K, J, K. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. Give me a second. Keep an open mind. Okay, Emma. The Romance Angels sent you this card as a reminder to stay open to the possibility of your soulmate appearing in a form that may differ from what you expect. And also in terms of time and place, and like physical attributes and circumstances where anything could happen. This is especially true, in other words, keep an open mind. This is especially true if you tend to date a certain type of individual, okay? So that's what I was talking about earlier, Emma. If you have a very strong attraction to certain types of guys, then that could actually be kind of a limiting factor. Because some of those attractions are based purely on biology. And I think what we're doing here is we're asking you to keep much more of an open mind and a bigger, broader perspective of who could be a suitable mate for you, especially a soulmate, okay? You drew this card to help you to discover your soulmate, okay? Which might be something more satisfying than just having like a lover or a romance or a fling or a boyfriend or like maybe a husband or something. This card may signal that you've already been introduced to this person, but have overlooked his or her romantic potential. Take the time to get to know the various individuals that you meet, even if there isn't an initial attraction. At the very least, you will learn more about yourself, okay? And you might make a new friend. So I think, again, Emma, this card reading is very much about you. It's very, very much all about you and your nature, keeping an open mind, rather than about Nick, okay? So, I mean, it's great. Let's just say Nick's great. He has certain highly desirable traits, characteristics, and Maybe he is or isn't interested. Maybe he's one of these people who's just kind of like semi. Some people are oblivious. Well, some guys are very loving and caring and romantic, but it's very hard for them to make any kind of moves or gestures. Some guys are all about scoring and winning and achieving and playing a game, but they have absolutely zero interest in like love in the pure sense. It's just about sport, conquest, games, passion, lust, satisfying a very powerful genetic, biological, hormonally triggered itch. They call it an itch. Sometimes you just have to satisfy the itch, and like anybody will do, just like a warm body. Okay, you're it. And that's how a lot of people work. I'm kind of getting a little off direction here, but a lot of people act like as consumers or shoppers or predators. Like, I want this right now, and I have an itch and I want it to be satisfied. Just like getting bottled water when you're thirsty. And the drives of passion can be extremely powerful, and they can take you in directions that might be satisfying for the passion, but they might not be any satisfaction in terms of love, because there is a difference, big difference between passion and love. Some people are lucky and they get both. We'll see. But anyway, it's early days yet, Emma. Take your time. I would urge you to explore and allow yourself to, like the card said, keep an open mind and kind of enjoy yourself. Enjoy being Emma. Allow yourself to be like, how about this? Window shopping. Window shopping, okay? Samplers. Agatha Christie's here. Yay, hello, okay. Uh-oh, I see a message from Diane. What was that about? I said, what does Tobias think about me trying to reconnect with him? Okay, I'm just going to make that over here, okay? Tobias, and a question mark about reconnecting. So I've got your note there, okay? Okay, Diane, if you got to go, you got to go. So I'll make sure we get you your reading, all right? I need a little thirsty work here. Water, okay? All right. Thank you, Emma. Have a super day at work. All right, we're going to go to, I think, who's up next? The Divine Mrs. Jones. Here we go. Hello, Agatha. I see you. The Divine Mrs. Jones. Right, now I think you said, I think you mentioned that you're a professional psychic medium. Is that correct? Anyway, we're going to use the new deck. Messages from Spirit, okay? It's about getting you back into good, healthy spiritual vibes. Okay, let's have a look. All right, the Divine Mrs. Jones, professional psychic medium that you are, we're going to pull one little card for you. It's all about you. You don't have to do anything. You're a psychic. You probably already know the card before we pulled it, okay? But sometimes it's nice to have feedback from a third party, like Lumination. Also, by the way, the Divine Mrs. Jones, there are a lot of people who come to this channel who have those kind of characteristics, psychics and mediums and readers and energy healers and all of that. So you're in very good company here. Let's have a look. What do we got for you? Here is your message. Now we're going to make this all about you, okay? And you can just soak it in. Like in other words, you've just got like a free ticket to a little miniature spiritual digital spa, a digital online spa, okay? And we're giving you a refresher. Here we go. Mediumship. You have to laugh. I'm serious, you have to laugh. Okay? Okay, so this is like a very divine squiggle. I'll see if she explains it in the book, but you can see these really powerful like psychic vibe type connections here between self and other and self, perhaps between and hold on. I don't know if I'm gonna get to you, just me. You're way back in the list of the backup, but I've got you there. Okay. I just put you on there. I saw that, just me. Okay. Thank you, just me. For future reference, just me. I try to do the show at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday. And it's turning into one of those things where it's kind of first come, first served, because everybody's starting to know what the nature of the show is. And people, I don't even make a list anymore. People just get in line. I want a reading, I want a reading, I want a reading. So just try and get in early, okay? Hello, Moonlight Miracle. You read as well. See, there you go, okay? So we're all on the same vibe here. Now, you have to laugh. This is humor. I think this is almost like, this is like a wink wink, nudge nudge kind of reading from your invisible friends on the other side who are having a cosmic joke. This is a cosmic joke between Spirit and the Divine Mrs. Jones. Let's have a look here. That's cute. That is so funny. All right, let's have a look. It says here, okay, when thoughts of our departed family members or friends come to mind, it is because they are with us in that moment. This card can be a way for your departed loved one to tell you that they love you and are still very much here with you. Oh, so this is acting like as a portal, like a portal message. Okay. Most likely you are in need of their love and support and encouragement at this time. And though you can no longer see them, they have not left your side. The other reason this card may have come to you is because you have a gift and ability to speak to those on the other side. It is quite possible that you are not aware of this gift. Spirit is encouraging you to begin to develop this skill. Well, you're already on it. Maybe they're telling you to take it to the next level, okay? On the other hand, you might be quite aware of your mediumship abilities, but you're questioning your skills and your levels of connection, okay? So that's, again, all about ascending. You know, you're like, how good am I? Am I doing a really good job? Am I really a genuine, authentic medium? Or is it sort of like fuzzy, too fuzzy on the edges, or what? Okay, let's have a look. Most intuitives feel they could be more connected and bring through clearer messages or receive more information. It is hard not to doubt yourself at times. But right now, Spirit is saying not to. In other words, do not doubt yourself, Mrs. Jones. Okay? Try not to compare yourself to other mediums. Okay? Just allow your gift to operate for you in its own unique way. Trusting and accepting are the quickest ways to nurture your connection to its fullest potential. Either way, those on the other side are reaching out to you at this time. So it almost doesn't matter what the rest of the card reading says. They are there. They're very much there supporting you. They want to support you. So it's almost like they're asking you to let them in and to take things to the next level. That's how I'm feeling it here. So be open to their communication in whatever form it may come. Every person on this earth is born with the ability to connect with those who have passed over. Do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt them, okay? The more open and accepting that you are, the stronger their communication will be. Well, that is a reading that was really, truly in your face. Wow. Jeepers, that was There's no ambiguity there, Divine Mrs. Jones. No ambiguity. So I hope that helps you. I'm hoping it resonates with you. You can kind of go, I know exactly what they're talking about. If you don't, please check in private and we'll figure things out, all right? I have to shuffle this up. We're going to go over to Diane now. Diane is concerned about Tobias, okay? Now remember, on this channel, we make it all about you, okay? I know you're concerned, Diane, about Tobias and you're considering reconnecting with him. We only have 2 retrograde planets at this moment, but we are in the shadow phase for Mercury retrograde, so that might be something to consider. I think we have Uranus and Neptune retrograde right now, and Mercury retrograde is coming up for us in November. Okay. Isn't it funny what happens on this channel? Thank you, Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones. Thank you, Mrs. Jones. All right, I'm just clearing the deck. We're going to read for Diane now. Diane is concerned about Tobias and her notions of reconnecting. Okay? Let me put this aside. And we're going to pull the Romance Angels deck here for you. Cards are well shuffled from previously. But I got it again so that you're a witness at the very last second. Okay? No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals. I don't do any of that. It's hard enough to do this just with a regular deck of cards. No reversals. Alright, Diane, let's have a look. So this is a message for you. What I'd like you to do, Diane, is consider, let's just take our word for it here, that you are surrounded by your invisible friends, spirit, divinity, loved ones from the great beyond who care about you, love you, and they want you to be like your most optimized self. Now that doesn't necessarily mean like excited and thrilled and happy all day, every day. What it means is absolutely being true and pure in the moment and dealing with exactly what is. In other words, if there is pain and trauma, we deal with it. And you treat it as a gift. If there is confusion, you treat that as a gift. All of these things are opportunities for us to expand and grow and evolve and become more loving and more loved in ourselves. So please allow Tobias as consider what I'm asking. Hold on. Sorry, excuse me. So, Diane, what I was trying to hint at is like, if you consider like your life like a movie or a story, and you consider Tobias as a character in the story, and then you are the lead actor, writer, producer, and director of the movie, I mean, you can write the script however you want to do. I mean, you can try to force things like, you know, you have this big question mark. Shall I connect or not? Okay. So it's like imagine you're like a screenwriter. You're considering like, well, what does this actually mean in terms of later on in the screenplay, later on in the movie of my life? Am I trying to force an issue, or should I just let things play out? Let's have a look. Remember, it's all about you. I'm just going to do this once more. Give me a second, because I kind of lost my concentration there. Okay, I'm going to move this more towards the center of the stage now. We have a bit more room. So Diane, there you are. We're going to cut this up. And I'm doing a big, wide, quirky cut just to break up the energy here, make it really clear. Past life relationship. Aha. So, When I see this card in the situation that you were talking about regarding Tobias, and you're considering reconnecting or not, okay, these are your decisions to make or not. Let's just say there's this character, Tobias. There's you, okay, and there's Tobias, and you are considering. It sounds to me like you would like to reconnect, but there's an intrepidation. In other words, if you really wanted to reconnect and you felt confident about doing that, you'd just be doing it. You wouldn't be asking for a reading here. So there must be some fear, some kind of intrepidation, some kind of energy that is maybe unspoken or doesn't have language or words around it yet, that is causing you as the individual to, let's say, hold back on your decision making. Do I want to just sit and wonder about this? Like, just you can make a decision not to decide. Okay, that's perfectly okay. That is a decision in itself. You can decide to connect and take the risk of maybe being blown off or never getting a response, or you could make the decision to not reconnect at all and just let things happen. Either way, there's risk. You're putting yourself at risk, whichever way you go. If you choose to not make a decision, that's effectively like not doing anything, and then you're basically allowing things to just happen, okay? And then just see what Tobias does. If he's not coming to connect with you, then so be it. Everything is exactly as it should be. And now, if you decide to reconnect, in terms of boy-girl, like love relationship dynamics or soulmate relationship dynamics, there's a risk, because when you reconnect and you do it with good intentions, there's the risk that you might not be well received, or you might be rejected, or just simply get no response, and that can be very painful. So a lot of people don't take the risks because they don't want to deal with the pain. And so in your situation, Diane, I think what it's about here is really putting everything in context. So it says here, this is a past life relationship. You have known each other before. So before we even read from the book, what this hints to me is that you have unresolved issues in your life, Diane, and they have some in their life that corresponds to a past life connection that was unresolved in a previous lifetime, like, a loose end, where unfinished business, okay? And you might be looking for clarification. You might finish the business, tidy up the loose ends, make some repairs, whatever it might be, reconnect with love, whatever it might be. But anyway, we're going to read from here. Let's see what it says for you. All right, Diane. You have known each other before. The romance angels sent you this card to explain the relationship you've inquired about. Okay? You have some unfinished business in conjunction with a soulmate from a past lifetime. This may involve forgiving someone, a joint project, or learning personal lessons such as patience, whatever it might be. Soulmates recognize each other instantly, and this feeling is often registered as a sense of romantic or sexual chemistry. The magnetism that draws two people together can surpass logic, because the purpose of the relationship is healing and learning, okay? So you have to be able to discern the layers and the context of the relationship. Like, it might appear and manifest as a sexual romantic thing, whereas that is actually the doorway to get you into a degree of intimacy and connection where the real nature of relationship is more to do with healing and learning, okay? And, patching up or carrying on from where you were in a past life, okay? So whether or not your soulmate becomes your life partner, that's not the point. You will experience personal and spiritual lessons and growth as a result. Past life regressions can also help you uncover the answers that you seek. Okay, so when I see something like this, to me it looks like there's obviously some kind of, past life romantic soulmate link. It might be, sometimes it's enemies. Sometimes enemies connect in past life type relationships because they have unresolved bitterness or clashes or wars that need healing and learning, okay? So, what I'm sensing for you, Diane, is that, like, you're concerned about the reconnecting. And I see that as a very classic three-dimensional thing. Shall I connect? Shall I not? If I do connect, what can I expect? If I don't connect, what can I expect? And so that's putting a lot of pressure on a three-dimensional aspect of life over which you don't have any control. So I think that one of the messages here is consider that from a larger perspective, it's a soulmate thing, a past life, and it's unfinished business. Now, some of the lessons in the healing and learning could be to do with the process of connecting and letting go, connecting and letting go. In other words, you might still be feeling a desire to connect with someone who is already spiritually disconnected from you, but they haven't done it in a courteous way. Some people just they unplug from each other, but there's no courtesy, there's no manners, there's no explanation, there's no understandings. It's just like, and it leaves people very confused and lost and broken and just like angry, resent, whatever, all sorts of issues that can linger and linger and linger. So the idea of reconnecting, my feeling, it's probably much more about you wishing to understand what you need to know about you in ways that could be only understood by reconnecting with Tobias. Now, there's also an implication that you're not connected right now because you're considering reconnecting. And so, like, if you leave everything neutral and basically it would sit with the huge discomfort, like perhaps, if you do nothing and allow Tobias to consider reconnecting with you, is that something that you could handle? Is that a pain that you could handle? Is that a message that you need to understand and learn that you're unwilling to understand or learn because it's too painful? In other words, if you wanted to reconnect with them and you do, you're risking, connecting again or not, or being like sidelined. If you do nothing, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just like trying to put more understanding around your options, your decisions. If you just be Diane and allow yourself to live with the discomfort of being disconnected and let them be who they are and what they do, then you're taking full responsibility for your life. And if they are not reconnecting with you, maybe there's a hidden message that there is no business, but the message is not being conveyed in very courteous, respectful, loving ways. And that's painful. It could be painful for you, especially if there was love in some way or another, okay? So, to me, it looks like there's a lot up in the air here for you, Diane. My feeling is personally, let things simmer for a little bit. Allow the meaning of this reading to soak in for a while, and then reconsider. You've got Mercury retrograde coming up. It might be a perfect time to reconnect. Take the risk, put yourself out there, and just wait and see what happens. It's your choice. It's your decision. Sorry I couldn't be more helpful. I think what's really happening here is we're putting everything in context. We're putting your situation with Tobias in context as opposed to... Sorry, hold on. Sorry, what I'm trying to say, we're trying to put the situation with you and Tobias in context rather than outcomes or expectations. Okay? So I hope that helps you. Because the understanding the context can really help you to understand your role, your dynamic, your position in the equation of love and connecting or not reconnecting. Okay? Thank you. All right, Sun. Gosh, my eyes are really hurting today, people. I don't know what's happening. It's really painful. I got some pretty decent glasses, but maybe I'm losing my eyesight. more. I don't know. All right, son, let's have a look. Hey, Emma, I did your recording earlier. You can do it. You'll get it. I thought you'd already gone to bed. Son, you're up next, and then I'm going to read for. How am I going to do that? Tatty, then Karen, then Peachy, then Paula, then Kiss. Okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to do at this point in time. I don't know if I'm going to get to anybody over here on the backup list. My eyes are hurting, and my voice feels pretty flimsy at the moment. All right, so Sun Lehman has chosen deck number 4. Okay? She's concerned about. Really, it's like the self versus the self. There's the ego self and there's the soul self. And sometimes they have very different agendas, okay? The ego wants this and this and this, and the soul wants that and that and that. Sometimes they can be very different, and it turns like to a warfare inside of us. And then we have to figure out the only way to, let's say, prevail in the situation is to surrender. Surrender is very hard to do because it goes against what the ego wants. Surrender is like admitting failure, admitting loss, okay? So it's very hard. Someone wants a message on life purpose, okay? So that's what we're going to do. Life purpose. We're going to use that deck, the power of surrender, which is basically the art of letting go, how to evolve and adapt and grow and blossom through the art of letting go, okay? So for example, let's just say you are very strong-minded, Sun Lehman, or let's say you have a very firm grip on reality, like you're good, maybe you have a life history of this, this, and this, and this, skills, qualifications, that, and that, but you're at like a crossroads. So like, well, what am I supposed to do? Why am I really here? And I can't remember where I learned it the other day, but it was something about, instead of chasing paradise and chasing happiness and thrills and excitement and having, a constant stream of joyful experiences, sometimes the most satisfying things in life are facing up to our, let's say, commitments, responsibilities, the realities, the facts of existence in the face and dealing with them, like checking off the boxes. Did that, cleared that up, cleaned that up, cleaned that up, cleaned that up. And so you have a whole different approach to life where what you're doing is, instead of chasing paradise, what you're doing is removing the obstacles that obstruct you from the joy that is naturally out there and available to you. But the definition and the experience of joy coming from that direction is very different from actually chasing joy, chasing paradise, chasing love, chasing excitement, okay? So I just wanted to get that on record here for you before I pull the card. This card is really keys into our expectations, okay? Thank you all for your patience. I'm just literally just going through a list of names here till we get to you. And you just have to be really, really patient because we started to do this like on a first come, first serve basis. All the people here, you will get your reading no matter what. And when we come to you, please, if you have in mind which deck that you would like to use, just let me know a little bit in advance and we'll get that for you, okay? Let's have a look, see what comes up here. So I'm doing a really extreme cut because I want a lot of clarity. Bless you, son. Thank you for being here. Bless the deck, bless the channel, bless every single card, bless the technology, bless the platform that we can do this at all. Surrender your addictions, okay? Now this doesn't just refer to things like, energy drinks or like quadruple shot espressos or smoking or, prescription drugs. Some addictions are to do with our expectations, our habits, our practices of like heavily, deeply ingrained behavior patterns and expectations that might be like ground into us, pounded into us when we were very little children or little kids, and we're stuck to that. We get very, very stuck and hooked onto these patterns that we've learned, and we can't let go of them because it takes you into the fear of the unknown. Okay. And a lot of us are so terrified of the unknown, we would rather stick with the addictions and the limitations that we have rather than taking the risks of diving into the unknown and surrendering these really powerful hooks. It says here, whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, overworking, or any manner of things I just talked about earlier, take action to begin to heal these addictions and replace them with healthier alternatives. Okay, so it's easy for me to read this to you, but the key word here says take action, okay? Take action to begin to heal the addiction. So from my first perspective, it's honesty. First of all, son, regarding honesty. So if, for example, you're concerned about life purpose, okay? And if this card is indicating that addictions of some kind are, let's say, influencing you, or they could be like a significant component of your life. Like in my neighborhood, there are so many people with addictions. There are kids who go to college and they come into one of these cafes and they shoot themselves up with triple shot, quadruple shot espressos, or else they can't do their homework. And there are people across the street over here where they can't get through the day without their dose of medical marijuana. And 2 doors down, there's the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting house. And then 2 doors down, there's the Narcotics Anonymous meeting house. And 2 doors down from that, there's an emergency medical center for addicts. Okay? I mean, it's absolutely effing sane around here for that kind of stuff. And then you start to realize your whole life is, let's say, almost like you become like a bag of reactions. Like your whole body is hold on. So, son, it's like your whole body becomes like this quivering nerve center, which your ego is managing through addictions. Let's just say there's a huge number of issues in your life that are so deeply buried, you can't face them or handle them face on, so you manage them through like highly, highly structured addictions, like have to get up at 6 a.m. or I have to do my Pilates on Tuesdays, or I have to do, excuse me, my eyes are a real mess at the moment. I have to do this, or I can't go to my work, I can't do this without that and that. Maybe you're, whatever it is, it could be very subtle, but it's an addiction. Now the thing is, here's what I was sensing. To me, it might indicate that you know a lot about this subject, okay? Maybe in your own subtle way, the word addiction, let's take it in the broad perspective, is something that you know about, okay? And like in my neighborhood, what I see is a lot of people who've gone through a lot of self-healing. In certain ways, they realize like, oh, I trained to be, administrator, or I trained to be that and that. But they've realized as they're growing older that what they really have is a life purpose and mission that is nothing to do with their college or school or high school training or family upbringing. It's to do with their soul learning, their life experiences of things that were extremely hard to understand, and then you learned the hard way. And for example, like some people who have addictions of some kind, they can be extremely good counselors and healers for other people who are still struggling with it. I'm just thinking of those kinds of examples, okay, where like perhaps learning the hard way that you might have a lot of experience and knowledge and wisdom and compassion when it comes to those sides of life, those aspects of life. Because in the United States in particular, I mean, I don't know where you are, son, but the United States is a very traumatized country. We have like opioid addiction problems. Like it's just out of freaking control. The country is so stressed out. We are a nation of trauma. We have so much trauma. I mean, so many people want to come to this country because we allegedly have so much, which is true. We're a very abundant, bountiful country when it comes to three-dimensional things. But a lot of it is built on intense trauma. Like America is constantly, permanently at war, trying to protect and defend its culture, its boundaries, its interests overseas and at home. And a lot of people are stressed out from being like debt junkies. They can't, they get trapped, like credit cards, jobs, schools, college, families, kids, obligations, and they can't cope. And so they're hooked on every kind of imaginable prescription drug or something just to get through the day. Whatever it is, a lot of people realize, I don't actually want that. What I want is to be happy from here. I don't want to have to be dosed up all day, every day with this or that or that or this. Anyway, my feeling is that you probably know something about this stuff, and that might be something to do with your sense of meaning, mission, purpose, or calling. I would love to hear it. Maybe you could follow up with me or follow in some way and let me know. I'd love to find out more as you evolve, okay? Thank you, Son Lehman. Thank you so much. I hope that made sense to you in some way. Hey, Laura, greetings. As you can see, Laura, I unmoderated everybody because I wanted to have a fresh start. And we'll eventually get back to that. But for now, I'm really kind of enjoying the very gentle, open, free flow of conversation on the chats. Not that I get to read all the chat, but I do get glimpses during the shows, okay? Thank you, son. I hope that really helped you. Next, Tati Bonds. Oh, look, we're doing surrender card again. Dear Tati Bonds. Now, I can't remember where you are, if you're in England or somewhere, or if you're on a different time zone completely, a different continent, whatever it might be. Thank you, Son Lehman. I hope that helped you. I hope I didn't really touch on anything too, let's say, like sensitive matters, okay? Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes on this channel we end up touching nerves. We end up touching people in very awkward, uncomfortable areas of their life. But that's kind of where we need the nudge, okay? Thank you, son. I hope that helped you. Keep us posted, okay? So, Tati, we're going to use the same deck for you. We've got a message coming to you that'll help you to deal with the war between the self and the self. What is really actually the ego and the soul. But sometimes we get so, let's say, tied up we can't distinguish anything. Like the more stressful our lives become, typically the more narrow the focus of our three-dimensional senses. And sometimes a lot of people are living their lives in such a compressed way that they think that that's all there is to life, okay? So, it's like, especially like, you know, people who are in the military or something, it's a super, super highly compressed energy. And then the whole idea of being able to relax and connect with your invisible friends, to laugh, to sing, to dance, to chill out, to go for walks, to be in touch with nature, to disconnect from computers and social media without any fear, that's really terrifying for a lot of people. And so like it's the ego side that tends to like to be in this very compressed way of being because it makes it feel as though they've got control over everything. I'm in charge of all my problems. I can deal with the food, the bills, the credit cards, family, friends, education, career, deep soul matters. I can deal with that. But there's really a whole other agenda out there which is much more expansive and beautiful and open. And it's very much to do with spirit and your soul journey. Your traumas are not you, okay? Your successes and glories are not you. Those are like worldly things. You are a soul, okay, inside of all of that stuff, okay? Oh gosh, I see the notes there, Laura. Jeepers. Hello, Elias. I see you. Hello, Megastar. I see you. We're going to be lucky just to get through these 4, okay? So if you want to hang out, you're very, very welcome to hang out. Because sometimes these readings resonate way beyond the individual for whom we are reading, okay? All right, Tati, we got a message for you. The power of surrender. It is the art of evolving and growing and adapting by letting go. Typically letting go of expectations, desires, outcomes, beliefs, understandings, results, and demands. Let's have a look. What's the message we have here? Surrender your fear of change. Oh ho! So I don't know your astrology, Tati, but if you have a lot of fixed signs, for example, like Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus inside of you, if you've got any of those, and especially if any of those are in, let's say, hard aspect angles to each other, that could give you some of the characteristics of somebody who's very, very, let's say, fixed in their ways, and they might be really, really good at doing that and that and that. Because you can typically, with the fixed signs, they can focus a lot of energy into a few specific places and they become very effective. But ask them to change or expect them to change outside and around those parameters, it's extremely hard for them sometimes. And you have to kind of get a crowbar or a grenade to get them to change. However, it says here, it's your time to surrender the fear of change. The fear of change is almost as extreme as the fear of the unknown, okay? It says here, the universe is reminding you that you are cared for, always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, relationship, locations in life, change of circumstances, change of attitudes, change of awareness, or if you fear aging or you fear death, repeat this affirmation. I have faith that all is well. Okay? You could also say, like on some of the other cards, I understand that everything is exactly as it should be. And why is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. I understand that. I have faith that all is well. I believe that all is well. So, again, this is really easy for me to read and to say to you, but it's actually, it can be very hard to do. Okay, I'm not gonna cover that up. The fear of change. I understand the fear of change in a very personal way. Okay, and the fear of change is so linked to the fear of the unknown, because change by definition means heading from this to this. And sometimes, like, if you don't make active, deliberate, let's say very graceful decisions to change from this to this, sometimes the changes are imposed upon you. Like, think of the energy of earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, floods, tsunamis, forest fires. These things happen naturally, okay? And it's the same thing with the big planets. Well, all the planets in their own way, they have a magnetic influence. And every day it's changing, just like the Weather Channel, just like the weather forecasts. Some of the patterns are very predictable. We can track the moon patterns, for example. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. They're very easy to track. And we can sometimes sense the different shifts and changes in our bodies. When we get to Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and Pluto, the energy goes much, much, much deeper. And sometimes it's very hard for us to understand those, especially when it comes to Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because those are, we're talking about, deep, deep ocean currents of life over here, these kind of things over here, huge ocean currents. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. You can't tell these huge currents to stop or move away. So you have to adapt. And if you refuse to adapt, you're basically setting yourself up for a lot of pain and suffering. And so you might think, oh, well, it's easy to adapt. You just go with the flow. But the thing is that the being in the flow can often feel like you're being pushed away from where the ego wants to be and wants to do. And that can make you feel like, I'm a loser. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to quit this job. I'm not going to leave this relationship. I'm not going to give up this expectation or belief or understanding because I already have this and I'm totally invested. Maybe you've got years of commitment in a job or a relationship or a place or something, and deep in your soul, you know that change is coming, but you also know that with that change, there's going to be what you might perceive as losses, okay? At the level of the ego, okay? But at the level of the soul, which is basically about being in the flow, okay? That's kind of where evolution is taking you. So any kind of resistance to that, you're literally, it's like you're strapping yourself against the flow. You're strapping yourself into an evolutionary tide pool, stagnation, and then the pain simply increases because eventually you can't stop the changes. In this lifetime or the next one, eventually those changes happen. So in some ways, there is an art to the act of surrender. There is an art to letting go. There's an art to saying, you know what? I think it was Getty was just typing in something earlier. Anyway, it's the idea of if you got screwed over by situation, jobs, or if you're, you can just bless it. You know what? You can just literally, I give up. I walk away. I am willing to, let's say, lose out on some kind of finance thing. I am willing to lose this. I'm willing to say goodbye to this, say hello, say bye to that, say goodbye to that, because you can say that's where spirit is taking me. That's the call. That's where your soul needs to go. But it can be so contrary to what the ego wants. And then you end up in this double bind. So with the fear of change, in other words, it's almost like bring it on. The way to handle it is, in other words, you know what? I can't fight this, so let's just bring it on. Bring on the changes. Bring on the changes. I am Tati Bonds. I invite you, dear spirit, dear angels, dear circumstances, dear planets, dear weather, whatever you want to call it. Bring on these changes. I surrender. I surrender to the changes. Bring it on. Okay? So I hope that made sense in some kind of way. It's very, very scary. Change can be very scary. Just even the little things like, moving the furniture around, or having to switch jobs, or schools, or relationships, okay? Whatever it is. Dear Tati Bonds, I hope that reading helped you in some way. I hope it gets you out of the fear of change, and instead face it all bravely and say to it out loud. You might do some kind of war dance or something. I like to use that song. It's called "I Get Knocked Down, But I Get Up Again" by Chumbawamba. I play that to myself and I jump around and dance, and I basically dare myself to face into the unknown and face the changes that I know that I have to face. And I know that I'm constantly facing pain and expectations that are unfulfilled and what the ego wants. But when I go in the direction of the soul, it's quite amazing what happens. Okay? It's such a different experience. Thank you, Tati. I'm going to put this one aside now. I hope that helped you in some way. Let's have a look. Karen, over in New Zealand. Let's see, it would be, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning almost for you. Maybe you're having your second cup of coffee, your long black or something, I don't know. But anyway, if you already are busy at work or something, then fine. You'll get your reading anyway. Thank you. I see that you're all chatting amongst yourselves. That's great. Karen Clark, if you're here and you want to type in and you want to choose a deck, that's great. If you're not here and you've already moved on, I will choose a deck for you, and I will choose the Return of Spirit. And just give me a couple seconds, and then we will know. So if you don't type it in a couple seconds, Karen, I will read from the Return of Spirit. And the same thing over here. Peachy Peach, if you're still here, Peachy Peach, if you know which deck you want, please let me know. I've already got people lined up here. Peachy Peach, Paula Scorpio, and Kiss JG. Paula and Kiss JG, they both want Romance Angels, but Peachy Peach, I'm not sure. And Karen Clark, I'm not sure. I have these 6 decks for you available on this show right now. So I'll just share that with you. Ah, you're here. Thank you, Peachy. So I'll put the number 6 over here, like that, for you. Thank you. Perfect. So that's solved. Karen, I don't see you on here, on the screen, on the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull from the new deck, Return of Spirit, because it's fun and I'm learning, okay? So just, we'll just go completely free here, all right? All right, let's have a look. Doop-be-doo. Let's have a look. I haven't really taken much in the way of breaks today because I'm trying to give as many people as possible the chance for a read. All right, Karen, this is for you. Karen is down there in New Zealand. I'm not down there, over there, because when you look at the world from outer space, there is no up, there is no down. It's just this amazing blue ball. There is no north, south, well, there is. I mean, you can see certain patterns, but like in the Lumination space station, you know, if you could see, if you saw, you know, when they put New Zealand on a map. Oh, let me just show you over here. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so over here, I don't know if you can see it, there's not much of everything here, but there's New Zealand, all right? Right over there. Like from outer space, if you look at it from up here, it looks like that's south, but if you're like in a space station over here coming this way, New Zealand is going to look completely different. The same thing with the whole planet. When you look at, just to take an atlas or a map and turn it upside down, it looks really strange. We've just done this all over the world as a convention that we call this north, we call this south. That's all. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. Karen, here we go. All right, Karen, let's have a look. What you got going on here? This is a message to you from Spirit about getting back into Spirit, like getting yourself back into like where you're supposed to be, because ultimately you are a spirit in a physical form here on this earth. We're like little flowers, we're like sand paintings. We come into being, we blossom, we flourish, and then we wilt, and then we're gone, and then we start all over again. Many of us have been here many times before, and we will be back again and again. All right, let's have a look. Let's see now. All right, Karen, here we go. Here we go. bless you, Karen. Thank you for being here. Let's bless this deck again, every single card. Okay, I did a very extreme cut because I wanted to really break up the deck. Here we go. Here is your message from Spirit. Caretaker. Aha! Can you see this image here? It's hard for me to show you the extreme details. It's very, very detailed image. But basically it's like these two swirling images, almost like mirrors of each other. Almost, but not quite. I'm just going to read from the book. And then you can reinterpret it for yourself, okay? That's what we do on this channel anyway. I don't tell the future. I don't make your decisions for you. You have to do all that yourself, okay? Oh my gosh, Karen, look at this. The very first sentence is a dead giveaway. There she is. Hello, Karen. I took the liberty of picking a deck for you, okay? It says here, Dear Karen, you are an endless giver. If anyone has a need or requires assistance in any way, you are right there to help. Essentially, you are an earth angel. Every life you touch is made better, whether you know it or not. Your heart is big, and the support and love that you give is even bigger. You are one of the souls who are here to either nurture the world or the people in it. However, I knew this was coming. However, Karen, there comes a time when we have to consider our own needs over others. Oh my gosh, Karen, that's almost like the whole purpose of this channel, because so many of the people who come to this channel are givers or light workers or healers, and they end up depleted. It's not allowed. You can't be a good caretaker, a good lover, a good healer without being strong in yourself first, and that has to come with love thyself. Okay, Karen? Let's read on. However, there comes a time when we have to consider our own needs over others. We have to make our own well-being a priority, even if that means it may not please others. You have to come first right now. Although it may feel as though it is going against your very nature to do so, it is vital that you put yourself first. Oh my gosh, Karen, this is a really loud, blunt message right in your face, okay? Your physical and emotional well-being needs to be nurtured and maintained, just like you maintain others, okay? This ensures that when you do give to someone else, what you give has substance, okay? Your personal value cannot be defined solely in what or how much you give to others. Your value and worth as a person come from all the incredible qualities that make you you. Maybe this is the time you finally say no, or you create a boundary. In some way, it is time to give to yourself and restore a balance in your life, okay? You are a beautiful soul with much to give, and a beautiful soul who deserves to receive. Oh, Karen, this is a really loud message. If there is something you need, or if you could use a little assistance, Spirit is encouraging you to allow others the opportunity to give to you. You know from your own experience how good it feels to give. So now you need to give the ultimate gift and allow someone else to give to you. It's time to allow the caretaker to be taken care of. Whoa. Karen. Karen, this is very loud. It's in your face. I'm sure you know in your own way exactly what this is talking about, and you just needed to hear it. really loud and really blunt and right in your face, okay? Because you might be in an environment where no one else is going to tell you, because they all love being on the receiving end of your caretaking. Well, now it's time for you. Karen, it is time for you to put yourself in the number one spot. And like it said there, give the gift of allowing someone to take care of you. Who, when, where, why, how, I don't have any idea. But if you don't allow for that, Karen, it's not going to happen. And you can't just give permanently. That's just like running your car empty on a tank and then you just run out and stop. You can't do anything. I know you know exactly what this is about, okay, Karen? Somewhere, we don't have to go into any detail, you will know, okay? Some way, somehow. Peachy Peach, same deck for you. What is the message for Peachy Peach? After Peachy Peach, we're going to read for Paula and then Kiss JG, all right? Let's see what's happening, people. Let's have a look. All right, Peachy Peach, what is the message that we have for you about getting you back into your spirit, pure self? The deck's called Return of Spirit. This is where we're trying to help you to go, because it's so easy to lose track. It is so easy to, let's say, get off the path of spirit, especially if like you're very capable or active in a three-dimensional world. Things like, school, jobs, college, kids, repaying debts, college loans, commitments, obligations, activities. Some people just thrive on having an extremely full calendar because it makes them feel as though their life is rich and full. All I'm sensing here for you, Peachy, is that there is so much more, okay? There is a much broader perspective that is available to you that you might not be tapping into yet, that it is your right and obligation and duty to access, okay? So we're trying to open up the gateway here to spirit and allow the spirit to come into you, okay? So let's have a look here. Let's have a look. That was a pretty extreme cut. Let's bless this deck and every single card and ask that the message comes directly to you, that which you need to hear. It says celestial. Okay, so there's a lot of dazzling magenta in here and green here. So this is a very, very loving kind of energy. Very much about love energy. This is fractal art. It's like really, really trippy stuff when you look at it really closely in extreme detail. Let's have a look. Single word, celestial. Okay, here it is. Here's the message for you. Hey, Ice Queen, thank you. I saw that. It says here, the celestial card brings with it divine energies of the benevolent beings who are here to assist you with the human journey of incarnation. We're talking about your invisible friends. Perhaps you have been struggling to understand exactly what your purpose or soul's role is here on earth. You could doubt whether you even have a purpose or if you hold any special gifts or qualities. This card has come to you today to reassure you that you are indeed uniquely qualified and gifted in your own special way. The celestial beings who love and support you here want to ease your worry and doubt. Most people find their purpose almost as if by accident. And although it would be nice to have a magical scroll far from the heavens, fall from the heavens, in other words, so you don't have to think or figure out what to do or how to do it, and it tells you exactly what you are here to do and why you're here to do what you do, it isn't going to happen this way. We all know that already, okay, Peachy? You know it, I know it, everybody here knows it. We must discover this for ourselves. It is the act of struggle and effort itself which reveals to us our strengths and gifts. Each unique aspect of you and your life path is revealed in your own divine time. Okay? So there is meaning and purpose. Okay? It's almost like if you already knew in advance before incarnating, why even bother to be here? It's very much about the learning and the effort and the struggles, okay? Because that's what reveals. It's true. It's really true. Your divine celestial beings are asking you to hold on to your faith, to trust the journey of discovery that you are taking, and to believe in yourself. They ask you that you simply take action and step forward, whether you feel confident or not. Okay, so we're talking about, again, the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, and doing it anyway. You face the fear and do it anyway. Okay, in other words, bring it on. You don't know the answer to everything. You don't know what's going to happen next. Even with your like a super rich, highly paid brainiac, you still don't know. You have to make decisions. You might as well just say, bring it on. Okay? Your divine celestial beings are asking that you simply take action and step forward, whether you feel confident or not. It is the movement forward that matters the most here. You just might make a discovery about yourself in a way which you least expect. The entire universe is supporting you at this time, so do not give up on yourself. You are not alone or forgotten down here. Spirit is here with you, loving and guiding you each step of the way. You are on the path you are meant to be on, and doing exactly what you should be, to take you to where you need to go. The thing is just to take the steps. Sometimes it's really, really scary. A lot of people know that, and so they don't want to go, because a lot of times heading in the direction where you know you need to go for your soul's evolution and growth can sometimes take us into a world of potential pain and dealing with things that you would rather not deal with. And so much easier. That's why so many people check out. They would rather self-medicate, drugs, drinks, alcohol, passion, workaholism, blameaholism, projectionalism, or anything to avoid dealing with you and your reality. And that can look like a lifestyle itself. But what happens is you're actually running away from you. So you might as well just flip it around. You know what? I'm here. I'm incarnated. I'm Peachy Peach. I have a right to be me. I am going to be me. Let's bring it on. Dear invisible friends, bring to me that which is mine. Take away from me that which is not mine. Okay? Help me, lead me, guide me to where I need to go. I'm open to that. You can do that, Peachy, You can do that. I do it every day. I ask for my invisible friends to please bring to me that which is mine. Whatever it is, like a chore or a task or an obligation, and take away from me that which is not mine. And sometimes it's extremely hard to do, but when you do it, there's a tremendous sense of relief. In other words, whatever it is, something very tiny or something big. And that's what you do. That helps me to make the decision to go forward, because then they bring to me that which I need. In other words, I'm seeing and I'm facing my so-called future, and then I'm deliberately walking into it. And by definition, you're walking into the unknown. There are things that are happening here today in my life, behind the channel, in the other world, where I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm very uncomfortable about it, but I'm walking into it anyway. It's the same thing for you, Peachy. Okay? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, I'm just going to put this one aside here now and leave it, because we got 2 more to do. Paula, are you still here, Paula? We have a little question for you about love and relationship. I don't know if there was anybody or anything in particular, or whether you're attached with someone, whether you dumped someone, whether somebody dumped you, whether you're in a soulmate connection and it's confusing, or whether you have so much joy that you don't know what to do with it. whatever that might be. So Paula, just let us know. Are you still here? Oh, there you are. I see you, Paula. So I'm going to get the deck out. We're going to go for it over here. All right. What message do we have here in the cards today for Paula? Okay. Whether there's someone there or not. Like maybe you've been married for 30 years, or maybe you're young and dating, and it's all very, very confusing. Whatever it is. Let's have a look. Wanting to meet your partner. Okay. So that gives us a lot of room. Thank you, Paula. Wanting to meet your partner. So hopefully this card here is going to give you some insight into what, like the staging or the scenario. Pretend you're an actor, okay, Paula? Pretend you're an actor, writer, producer, director of your own movie, and now you are being called to go on stage here and live it out. It's kind of like improvisation. You don't really know what's going to happen next, but you get on the stage of life, you live your life, and you do it anyway. So you put yourself, I call it like where you, let me do it like this. Hold on. Wanting to meet your partner. So to me that feels like deliberately putting yourself into a field of opportunity. In other words, continue to live your life. Be happy. Do fun things that make you happy, satisfied, joyful. I'm not talking about excitement or chasing thrills or adrenaline or passion. Just like, I'm talking about this really gentle, sweet stuff in here. And then you start to create an aura, okay? And then start to see through the laws of attraction what is attracted back to you. In other words, focus on yourself. Love thyself. Live your life. Understanding, like, yeah, I want to meet my partner, okay? Now, it might mean I want to meet a partner. Because sometimes people go through what you call learning relationships. Sometimes you get the partner. Whatever it is, let's bring it on. But my suggestion here is like, in terms of wanting to meet my partner, live your life for you, all about you. Love thyself. Put yourself as number one. No apologies. Still being kind and generous in every other way, but do not neglect the self. Allow yourself to feel rich. Give yourself a nap when you need to. Treat yourself to a little food fun thing when you need to. Or like a break at the end of the day where you hang out with your buddies, or whatever it is that's really, really warm and satisfying for you. That will start to build and create your aura. You keep doing that more and more and more, then that makes things more and more authentic, and then you have a greater and greater chance of attracting your partner, the one that is like good for you at that level. But it starts with you first. Love thyself, okay? So let's get back over here. Let's see. Let's have a look at the nature and context of this. Blameaholism. Thank you, Megastar, for spelling it out like that. Yeah, I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you understand. It's so easy to do. Like, in other words, the other one is Megastar is like complainaholics. Complainaholics. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is a serious addiction. It's a very, very heavy addiction. The complainaholics. Yep. Yep. All right, Paula, let's have a look. What do we got coming up here for you? Let's have a look here. Here we go. I'm really cutting it up. Wanting to meet your partner. See this? Express your love. Okay. Now, before I even read the little book, Express Your Love, what I'm sensing is, like it says, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Okay, so that's great, kind of like in a very, obvious way. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with expressing love, being loving and being loved. Like in the very, very classic traditional sense, the woman maintains her womanhood, and she creates the aura that attracts her mate, her partner. You know, just like flowers and bees and that kind of energy, the birds and the bees, all of that stuff. And what I was talking about earlier, where you're creating your own aura by being happy, that is also part of the art of expressing your love. In other words, you don't have to go knocking on every guy or every person's shoulder and saying, hey, listen, I think you're really hot. Have you ever considered getting it on with me? I mean, I'm right here. That's expressing your love, but that's kind of, that doesn't leave a lot of room for, you know, any kind of, let's say, nuances to occur. That's literally just like chasing one's hormones, okay? So let's have a look. What does it say here for you? Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Okay, here. Okay, Paula. This card is urging you to take the initiative in your love life. Huh. Okay. Now that might mean contacting someone to whom you are attracted and asking that person out on a date. Okay, that's pretty blunt. That is really in your face, especially if you're the girl. Okay? You know, in the old-fashioned way, you just live who you are. Be as gorgeous and desirable and can you be, and just live your life and allow them to come to you. But this is suggesting that it's appropriate for you to, let's say, express something. As you express romance, these feelings pour through you. You actually become the biggest beneficiary of your romantic displays, as you enjoy how they make you feel to an even greater degree. The more you give love, the more you experience it. Of course, do make sure that you're also open to receiving the love that comes to you from God, the angels, and other people. Okay, so Paul, it says here you're not attracted to anyone particular at the moment. When I see this in a situation like yours, I see it above all. This isn't just like sending texts to somebody hot. This is not just about going on to Match.com type places or the Tinders or the Bumbles and just, you know, hustling to hook up, that kind of thing. To me, it feels much more about not indulging yourself, but really kind of treating yourself as a really deserving, lovable, beautiful human being, and like commit to being loving and being loved. And when you feel something totally genuine, express it. You know, and you can do that. You know, when it says express your love, you don't have to do that just simply by texting or, you know, emailing or, you know, social media. You can do it through body language. You can do it through very, very simple, very, very old-fashioned types of communication and expression, okay? You can express love through art. You can express love through cooking, through a craft, a skill, or a hobby, or a job, or a workplace, or through children, or through other relationships where love on the grander scale is being expressed. And then that kind of grand scale of love can include the frequencies of romantic love. And then, like when you get back to the laws of attraction, then you start attracting what is good for you. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to go out there chasing things. You just have to be loving. Be loving and be loving. And of course that starts with you first, okay? Okay? So Paula, it first starts with you have to ask the healing power of love to fill your life from up above. You know, I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body, my mind, my heart, my soul from up above, so that you own it. I do this like pretty much every day by invocation. So it's like literally like going to the gas station and filling up with gasoline or getting an oil check or whatever it is, just to keep me going. I don't take any of this for granted because I give away a lot, and it's very easy for me to be depleted. And so I constantly have to fill up. I'm constantly filling up my tank from the great beyond. I have an infinite supply of love from up above. And so do you. So you can tap into that. Own that in here first, and then be loving, and watch what happens. Be loved, okay? You can have, it says you've got many lonely experiences, lonely at the moment, you've had bad experiences. That can be for so many reasons. It's possibly a lot of people who have bad experiences are not very good at loving themselves first. Okay? And you can often have like a little post-it note on your forehead. It looks like this. I will show you. This is what they look like. Hold on, I'm going to show you something. Stay there, Paula. Let's see if I can do this properly. Can you see this, Paula? I'm wearing a post-it note with a big V on my forehead, and it stands for victim. Okay? And victims are often very sweet, kind, innocent, loving people. They don't even know they're victims, and they are very, very... When people, especially if you've been hurt badly in the past, or especially when you were young or very young, it's very easy to have one of these stuck on your forehead. It's invisible, but predators can see this stuff. They can smell this stuff far away. It's like fresh meat for them, okay? And they're very, very good at taking advantage of victims. And the victims end up as people who have a bad experience, okay? So this is what I sense is actually going on here. Okay, let me get into this a second. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, Paula, before I left the your reading. Expressing love. So for this to happen, you kind of have to go full circle where you're not dealing with... You have to be aware of this. This could be so big that you don't even know it. And then you can keep attracting repeated experiences over and over again and wondering why things are so... They had so many bad experiences, why you have a loneliness. And in many ways, it's not your fault. The only fault that you would have